On the news, Nigerians to use old Naira notes until February 15 as federal government says it will obey Supreme Court's order. Council of State meets President Muhammadu Buhari, asks CBN to recirculate old Naira or print more new notes. And Senator Boache wins Taraba APC governorship primary rerun. It's good to have you join us on News Now. I am Mary Kanu. We begin the news with the latest development on the Naira redesign as the Attorney General of the Federation says the federal government would obey the Supreme Court order restraining the Central Bank of Nigeria from banning the use of the old Naira note from February 10. In an interview, Malami clarified that the federal government, out of its regard for the rule of law, would abide by the order of the Apex Court, although it intends to challenge it and will do so within the provisions of the law. Malami disclosed that the federal government had already put machinery in place to challenge the jurisdiction of the Apex Court and contended that the singular fact that the CBN was not joined as a party in the suit robbed the Apex Court of necessary jurisdiction. In a related development, the Council of State has advised President Muhammadu Buhari and the Central Bank of Nigeria to ensure adequate availability of the new Naira notes and, in the case of difficulty, allow recirculation of the old Naira notes to alleviate the sufferings of Nigerians across the country. Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, Governor of Taraba State, Dairos Ishaku, and Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu revealed this while briefing State House correspondents after the Emergency Council of State meeting at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. They also disclosed that the country is on course with preparations for the 2023 elections, according to the briefing from the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and Inspector General of Police after the council meeting.
Relating to the Naira redesign policy, the policy stands, but then the council agreed that there is need for aggressive action on the part of the central bank as it relates to ensuring, as it relates to the implementation of the policy by way of ensuring adequate provision being made with particular regard to the supply of the Naira in the system. That we are on course as far as election is concerned, and we are happy with the level of preparation by INEC and the institutions.
Major issue across board from all the states and most of the speakers is that of implementation. And so many views were proffered, particularly that the CBN governor should look into making sure that money is available, the new money is available in quantum. And there were suggestions too that if the new money is not in circulation or printing them could be difficult, the old money that hasn't been changed could be recirculated and pumped into circulation to ease the tension, particularly for the poor people in our society who just need a little sum of money to buy their food, buy their drugs for daily basis, and they cannot even afford it. So the pains and the sentiments across the country were being expressed by different governors, my colleagues. And I think collectively, all these ideas, Mr. President was present, is to go and to provide solutions and advices to Mr. President. And he was there physically, he was present, so I'm sure that after this meeting, a lot of things will be done, particularly in easing the monetary tension in the society.
Complete readiness and their state of readiness to ensure that the two elections of 25th February and 11th March, they are fully ready. He's given assurances that everything that they require, they have. And even in places where there's been a few disruptions, that they are convinced that they can bounce back.
Still on the issue of the Naira redesign policy, the Trade Union Congress has threatened to take constitutional and legal ways against the federal government over the lingering scarcity of new Naira notes and fuel. Speaking during a press conference in Abuja, the national president of the trade union body, Festus Osifo, said many Nigerians are on the brink of financial collapse due to the policy initiative of the Central Bank of Nigeria. On the issue of fuel scarcity and planned hike in pump price, Osifo called for the construction of local refineries.
Nigerians have been betrayed by the banking system, which has been unable to pay them their money on demand. They have also been failed by the federal government, which unilaterally decided to change the three highest denominations of the currencies, fixed dates for the change, and is utterly incapable either to deliver on its promises or protect the populace from financial strangulation. As you are aware, the Nigerian populace is unable to pay for basic needs, including food, medicines, clothes, or transportation. This is nothing but a calamity of epic proportions. We have never had it so bad. Never have our populace been made to attack banks, strip in banking halls, or threaten to commit suicide inside financial houses because they cannot have access to their hard-earned money. The lengthy explanations on why there are long queues of fuel stations and prices of PMS being far above the official price can no longer be tolerated. All we demand is that petrol returns to fuel stations and is available at the official price across the country. Tragically, rather than address the issues or try to assuage their anger, the security service under the presidency is shooting live bullets at defenseless Nigerians. And should this issue not be resolved in the coming days, the TUC and its comrades in the labor and social movement will begin consultations with various groups across the country to work out democratic, constitutional, and legal ways and means to save the populace and our beloved country.
Senate President Ahmad Lawan says there is no need for a time limit on the validity of the old Naira notes. Lawan, who spoke to journalists after a meeting of the Council of State presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari, said he told the president in a separate meeting that the National Assembly has resolved that there should be no deadline for the currency swap because of its impact on Nigerians.
If you look at the situation in the country, you know that this policy ordinarily shouldn't be a bad policy, but the implementation has caused so much problem for our people. And you know, as members of the National Assembly, as representatives of the people, we cannot but continue to agitate for a way out. To the fuel queues, this is something that I listened to the GMD of the NNPC Limited saying in the next few days it will be over. We are expecting elections to start in the next 2 weeks or even less. Campaigns are supposed to go on. How do you really go into campaigns without the resources that you need for logistics and without the fuel that you need to fuel your vehicles? This is not something that you give anybody anything, but just to convey yourself to the electors, to say, I am here. This is what I want to do for you and your communities if you vote for me. So we just have to get these things sorted out. And I believe that we will thrive at the end of the day.
To electoral matters now, Senator Emmanuel Boache has won the All Progressives Congress APC rerun primary ahead of the March 11 governorship election. Boache polled 778 votes to defeat Senator Yusuf, who polled 5 votes out of the 796 accredited delegates. 2 federal high courts in Jalingo and Abuja had at various times nullified the APC governorship primary election and ordered for a fresh primary within 4 14 days. Boache was, however, reinstated as the party's candidate in the state by the Court of Appeal in Yola, but that decision of the Appellate Court reinstating Boache as the candidate of the APC was challenged at the Apex Court by fellow aspirant Sabo Kente. In a judgment, a 5-man panel of the Supreme Court set aside the decision of the Court of Appeal and upheld the judgment of the trial court, which had ordered for a fresh primary election. And with the general elections just weeks away, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has described the nation's university system as a critical stakeholder towards a credible election this year. INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu made the statement when he met with universities' vice-chancellors in Abuja. During the meeting, Yakubu sought the deployment of a specified number and category of academic staff as collation and returning officers for the general election, but warned the staff who are card-carrying members or have participated in partisan politics should not be nominated.
We need the support of our universities to source the requisite number of suitably qualified academic staff of impeccable integrity who must also understand that this is a call to national service. As in previous elections, we have requested each university for a specific number and category of academic staff as contained in my letter to the Vice-Chancellors. I must warn that staff who are card-carrying members or have participated in partisan politics should not be nominated. Similarly, those who may not be involved in partisan politics but are known to have obvious political leanings should not be nominated. Furthermore, those who have been convicted of electoral malpractice must be excluded. The Commission will carefully scrutinize the list, which must be submitted confidentially in the manner prescribed in my letter to you. And like all election duty personnel, each collation and returning officer will swear to an oath of neutrality.
That if this country is going to be celebrated among the Committee of Nations, that we must play our roles and our roles effectively. And that is because not only are we training the manpower for this mission, but that we are also building characters. And we, of course, are persons of, are good characters, and we expect that in any role that we are given, I can almost vouch that because we have been tested, we have gone through the meals, and we have come out stronger, that we will deliver to this mission.
Meanwhile, a similar meeting was held when the leadership of the Nigerian Bar Association visited the INEC headquarters in Abuja. The INEC chairman solicited the support of the NBA in handling its numerous pre-electoral cases in courts across the country. Responding, NBA President Yakubu Maikiao underlined the association's resolve to support INEC as it looks to bequeath the legacy of a credible election to Nigerians.
We are here to identify with that good works that you are doing. When we were elected into office on the 16th of July 2022, one of the things that I said in my inaugural speech is that we are going into the election year. And there is one thing that we owe Nigerians as members of the legal profession, either serving on the bench or at the bar, is sincere participation in the electoral process, as we are called upon to participate in the pre-election and post-election disputes, because those matters will certainly come before the courts, and it is our lot, it is our responsibility to participate in that process, in the resolution of these disputes one way or the other. We can only help this nation provide direction and advance the cause of this nation if we do that honestly and sincerely.
Over the years, we have worked very closely with the NBA. NBA has been one of the accredited observers for elections, whether they are general elections, off-cycle elections, or by-elections. And I'm happy that NBA is one of the accredited observers for the 2023 general election. And in fact, the NBA is deploying one of the largest number of observers for the election.
As part of efforts to enhance a good medical status of public servants, the Lagos State Health Management Agency, LASHMA, in collaboration with the Lagos State Public Service Negotiation Council trade union side, has organized a joint media briefing and sensitization among union leaders in the public service of Lagos State on additional benefit packages to public servants. The event took place on Friday at Adeyemi Barrow Auditorium Secretariat, Alausa, Ikeja. Speaking at the event, the General Manager of LASHMA, Emmanuel Zamba, said the initiative is to ensure everyone has access to basic healthcare services that are of high quality and also affordable.
To start with, universal health coverage is a journey. It's never ending. The whole reason for having a pool of funds is that you constantly go back as you get more people on board. You are able to not only look at trying to reduce the cost of that premium, but also expanding the benefits of services that they can get under the scheme. So public servants, as I said, as I mentioned during my presentation, are the foundational members of Ilera-Eco. So they've been with us longest. We're just making another clarion call today that this Ilera-Eco is for them and ensure that they please come on board. It is here for your benefits to ensure that you have access to healthcare, that you do not have to pay out of pocket for services, and you are able to enjoy a quality life and be as productive as you can be as a public servant of Lagos State.
The whole idea is that they want to make sure as government that we have had an equitable platform for everyone living in Lagos to be able to access care financially. In other words, they put it in, as you've heard in some of the testimonials, that the cost of some of the services has already been subsidized or come, under that scheme. So that's what we're trying to do.
As the whole health insurance thing evolves, there is a need. We're finding out that there are new things that people are requiring, and to make the healthcare package more comprehensive and meet the needs of more people, we're adding new things without adding to the cost. We're adding new things to the package, and we're adding new packages for people that are a bit more discerning and require a bit more, so that they can also get onto it.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, Nigerian sprinter Oduduri suspended for doping risks 6-year ban. We'll bring you details of the story and more right after this break. Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. The Attorney General of the Federation says the federal government would obey the Supreme Court order restraining the Central Bank of Nigeria from banning the use of the old Naira notes from February 10. In an interview, Malami clarified that the federal government, out of its regard for the rule of law, would abide by the order of the Apex Court, although it intends to challenge it and will do so within the provisions of the law. We also told you that the Council of State has advised President Muhammadu Buhari and the Central Bank of Nigeria to ensure adequate availability of a new Naira note and, in the case of difficulty, allow recirculation of the old Naira notes to alleviate the sufferings of Nigerians across the country. In the briefing after the meeting, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, Governor of Taraba State, Darius Ishaku, and Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu also revealed that the country is on course with preparations for the 2023 general elections. Well, in case you missed any of the news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex4 TV or log on to our website in www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Nigeria has only vaccinated 68% of its COVID-19 eligible population. The Executive Director, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Faisal Shuaib, disclosed this at the first quarter review meeting of the Northern Traditional Leaders Committee on PHC Delivery. Shuaib further said that the fight against COVID-19 was not over until the country attained 70% target coverage of vaccination, adding that the country had made steady progress in the ongoing COVID-19 vaccination campaign, with over 66 million persons vaccinated so far. We'll take a short break and return with business updates, so stay with us.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places, the Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On Digi 360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians have said in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
Digi 360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Simisola Adigun joins us now with business updates. Simisola, over to you.
Thank you very much, Mary. Welcome to Business News. Amid lingering fuel scarcity across different parts of the country, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Temipri Silva, and members of the Department of Petroleum Resources have visited different filling stations across Lagos State. The minister, who visited 4 fuel stations, says his coming to Lagos is to detect the major cause of fuel scarcity across the country. Silva also apologized to Nigerians on the hardship being faced and gave the assurance of total disappearance of fuel queues.
But Mr. President has directed that we ensure to make sure that all the filling stations are selling and that there is no scarcity and there are no queues. That is the directive of Mr. President, and I've been going around from station to station to ensure that I carry out Mr. President's directive. I have also directed NNPC and other operators like NMDPRA to ensure, that's the regulator of this sector, to ensure that that this situation comes to normal as quickly as possible. And so far, I think we have really recorded a lot of success. There are no more queues in Abuja. I went to the stations last week myself, and I found that the queues are disappearing very fast. They have also pumped in a lot of trucks to Lagos. About 330 trucks have been pumped into Lagos on a daily basis, have been coming into Lagos on a daily basis. And the queues in Lagos, as you can see here, are also disappearing. I mean, completely disappeared, more or less. 18 states are now more or less clear, and so we can see that there's a lot of progress being made. This is what I want to come and see for myself and report back to Mr. President, who are giving us this directive.
900 stations, I mean, NNPC has footprints in every cranny of Nigeria. And on a daily basis, we also get independent marketers or some investors in the business who come to be affiliated with NNPC Retail. And with that is also another means to expand the footprints of NNPC, and that's ongoing. Because with that, they are assured that they are going to get quality products, and one of the other major selling points of NNPC stations is that you get 1 liter for 1 liter. So again, that also brings people here.
We'll take a short break here and return with stock market report. The Nigerian Exchange Limited ends the week in a loss, declining further by 0.6%. The all-share index also decreased to 54,327 basis points, with the market capitalization standing on the 29 trillion mark. 13 gainers and 22 losers emerged at the close of Friday's trading. Curtis PLC and Champion Breweries take the lead of decliners, with a 6 naira 55 kobo loss. Now, at the close of trading, 175 million volume of shares valued at over 5 million naira were exchanged in 3,563 deals. Now, over to our select global stock. It's another day of mixed trading. Japan's Nikkei index rose to its highest level in more than a month, with Sony Group and others leading the charge after issuing strong outlooks. Now, the US Dow Jones, despite its rough opening, also finished strong. The UK's FTSE sadly could not maintain the previous day's high and declined by 0.45%. Now, that's the stock market report. Back to you, Mary.
Thank you, Simsala, for the update. We move over now to the global scene. Women and girls bring diversity to research, expand the pool of science professionals, and provide fresh perspectives to science and technology, benefiting everyone. These are the words of the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Guterres, who made the statement in commemoration of the International Day of Women and Girls in Science, celebrated every year on February 11, called on everyone to create an environment where women can realize their true potential, shaping a fair and sustainable future for all genders.
There is growing evidence that gender bias in science is leading to worse outcomes, from drug tests that threat the female body as an aberration to search algorithms that perpetuate bias and discrimination. Yet, in too many places around the world, women and girls' access to education is limited or denied completely. As women look to progress in scientific careers, inequalities and discrimination continue to thwart their potential. Women make up under a third of the workforce across science, technology, engineering and math, and even less in cutting-edge fields. Just 1 in 5 professionals working on artificial intelligence is a woman. We must and we can do more to promote women and girls scientists, through scholarships, internships and training programs that provide a platform to succeed, through quotas, retention incentives and mentorship programs that help women overcome entrenched hurdles and build a career. And crucially, by affirming women's rights and breaking down stereotypes, biases and structural barriers. We can all do our part to unleash our world's enormous untapped talent, starting with filling classrooms, laboratories and boardrooms with women scientists.
And now in sports, Nigeria's national record holder in 200 meters, Divine Oduduru, has been suspended from competition indefinitely by the Athletics Integrity Unit over 2 anti-doping violations. Oduduru stands the risk of being banned for 6 years and has been charged with the possession and use or attempted use of multiple prohibited substances. This development is the latest in Nigeria's low moments in track and field, coming about a year after the 11-year ban imposed on former national team captain Blessing Okagbare. Now that's the size of our news bulletin this evening. Thank you for watching. I am Mary Kanu.